When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Queer Peer Reviews, where we review queer media, good, bad, and ugly. I'm your host, Jamie, and here with me is my co-host, Bruce.
Here at Queer Peer Reviews, we review your favorites and not so favorite types of media, going from movies, comic books, and TV shows. And once again, we're coming back to another Mike Flanagan classic,
The Haunting of BLY Manor.
Hopefully you've seen our last video. We reviewed The Haunting of Hill House, because now we moved on to the next, kind of like The Haunting of type series, BLY Manor.
Yeah, so something that's a little bit different for BLY House than it was with Hill House.
It's more depressing.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more depressing. BLY Manor has a little bit, well, not a little bit more, it definitely has more queer representation, because they say in the beginning of the series that this is a horror story. But
it's more
also,
centered.
Yeah, it's also a love story.
With ghosts.
With ghosts. Like Bruce said, BLY Manor is a lot more depressing than Hill House, so there will be some spoilers ahead. BLY Manor takes place in England.
Yes.
Yeah, and is about this au pair named Danny who goes to take care of these kids at BLY Manor. And there's a lot that goes behind BLY Manor. There's a lot of ghosts that haunt that place.
And another, like, haunted place that has, like, more questions, and like just like the show before, you have puzzle pieces as you move on. So pretty good. I love stuff like that. So
yeah, and something I really like is that every episode, once you get to the later episodes, there's a lot of callbacks. Like, for example, a spoiler, one of the people who works at BLY Manor has been dead since episode 1. She was killed on episode 1, and when you first meet her, she's literally looking down at this well at her dead body because she just died. And I thought that was insane when I learned about that in the episode.
I knew she was a ghost when she said she wasn't going to eat anything.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of hints.
I was guessing it. And the fact that her spacing out was just her being in different types, and
yeah,
it's like, so I guess he's like, these ghosts become time travelers because that keeps happening. They keep going
it's not necessarily that they're time travelers. They get trapped. They get tucked away into a memory. Yeah, they keep getting, when they try to possess a different body, when they get out of that body, they're sent back into a memory that kind of haunts them for a little bit, and they get stuck in there. One of the main things is that these two ghosts are trying to possess the bodies of these two kids that Danny's trying to take care of.
That was like So it's like this. It makes this show different than the other show. Like, it doesn't feel like the same. These ghosts are more different than the Hill House ghosts, because the BLY Manor ghosts, they're both similar in a way that they both get stuck in that house. But as years go on, they sort of forget, and they get like this weird, creepy look on them, like no eyes. But now also we're dealing with possessive ghosts that can control the kids, which explains some. Like, at first you were wondering, like, why is this kid such an asshole sometimes? And you just find out it was just the other guy taking over once in a while.
Yeah, and like the ghosts, you learn that not only are there ghosts that have died like within the past like few decades, there's ghosts that died centuries ago. Like the main ghost, which is like the lady in the lake. The kids are aware of the lady of the lake too, which is really creepy.
The plague doctor ghost too, that you see a lot more. You see in the first episode. First episode has like a lot of like background ghosts. But yeah.
Yeah, we don't learn about the plague doctor ghost until like later in the season. But I've rewatched this twice. You see the plague doctor throughout the entire show, and it's creepy. But much like Hill House, the reason why we're reviewing this show is because there is lots of queer representation in this one. We have Danny the au pair and also Jamie the gardener.
Another Jamie who likes plants.
Yeah. Yeah, Jamie and Danny's love story is it's pretty much a slow burn until you get to this one episode where they finally kiss. And with that episode, we also learn that Danny is haunted by the ghost of her ex, which is also contributing to like her queer like coming out and stuff.
Oh yeah, that was like a whole very tragic night for her.
Yeah, so Danny was engaged to this guy, forget his name, and during their engagement, you see these scenes where she starts realizing that she is attracted to women. I don't know if it's necessarily if she's bi or she's learning that she was never attracted to this man at all and she's only attracted to women. Like, there's a scene where she's getting her wedding dress fitted and this woman's just touching her and like feeling her up for the wedding dress. It's nothing like actually that's sexual, but she is like, oh, I think I like this. Like, what? And then she finally comes out to her fiance right before their wedding is supposed to happen, and he gets upset, he gets out of the car, and he gets hit by a truck.
Always check your side mirrors,
Always.
even if you're distressed.
But yeah, this event haunts Danny for the rest of her life. She sees his ghost in mirrors and stuff.
And that also explains why his like eyes glow. That was just just the truck lights.
The truck lights on his glasses. That was so cool. I really like that. Yeah, and after she finally kind of admits her feelings for Danny, she kind of has the courage to get the ghost to go away and like let go of that part of her past.
Basically moving on.
A lot of the Ghost of Bly Manor, it really has to do with like your past and letting go of your past. I've found it like it's just you reliving the past over and over and over again.
Just like the lake lady. I thought it was going to be another queer story with her because she played a queer last time. So I was like, is she going to do another?
Oh yeah, one thing you'll find about Mike Flanagan's shows on Netflix is that there's a lot of like recycled actors and stuff. Not in a bad way. I think it's really cool to get to see the different people they play.
No, I like those. You like to work with them, you keep them going.
Yeah, like Nell in Hill House is Danny in Bly Manor, played by Victoria Pedretti. Yeah, her younger sister wound up murdering her and like stealing her husband away from her. So her ghost haunted Bly Manor until present day.
But she's been taking lives ever since that ghost.
And it's not necessarily like she doesn't do it on purpose. Like she just walks the same path every day. And if you're in her way, she will grab you. Or if she finds like somebody in the bed of her child that she's looking for, she just takes them and into the lake. That's why there's like a child ghost there too. It's really creepy.
The ending gets super crazy because it's with the lady in the lake grabbing the little girl.
The little girl, yes. The little girl, I just want to say something with that little girl. The one line she has got on my nerves so much.
What was it?
Perfectly splendid. It's just perfectly splendid.
I was like, I think it was like hearing it because I was doing something, and then I was like, am I on repeat? What am I hearing? Yeah, and I ended up repeating it. Perfectly splendid.
Are you cross with me? Her lines, like, she's so cute, but a lot of her lines, I'm like, oh my god, shut up.
It started bothering me for a second. I was like, what the hell is that?
And I know it's because she's, like, one with the woman that is saying all those lines. Like, she's adapting to her way of speaking. But yeah, she gets taken by the Lady of the Lake, and Danny goes to try to rescue her. She says out loud, like, that phrase that bonds a ghost with a human, saying, it's you, it's me, it's us. And the Lady of the Lake disappears, but that is because she's, like, in Danny now.
Did you see the detail where her eye color changes?
Oh yeah, that was really cool. But also, like, really sad if you, like, realize that's what it means.
I mean, at least they spent, 13 years together after that?
Yeah, so Danny and Jamie get to spend, like, decent amount of years together. I think Danny winds up proposing to Danny because, like, she has, like, this little ring inside of a plant.
Even though it was not legal at that time.
Yeah, it wasn't legal at the time, but they still, like, really, it matters to us. Like, to us, it's real. And then a few years later, Danny starts seeing the Lady of the Lake. And then she goes to the lake to try to end, like, the curse forever. And she drowns herself.
Yeah.
I cried so much. You'll hear about it in my ratings, especially the queer comfort part. But I cried. I sobbed. I wept. I felt sick. I was very emotionally attached to those characters.
Yeah, I was like, I think I was just like, fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, very depressing. But let's get to those ratings. Alright, so let's get to the ratings. Let's start with representation.
One had a U-Haul, the other one had a planter named Jamie. I mean, it was so you. For representation, we give it a 9.
I'm giving this one a 10.
I think this was higher than the last one, right?
Yeah. I mean, the representation was definitely a lot more like just present in this one. Not that Hill House did a bad job at it, but Bly Manor was definitely more queer. Especially you have this couple that gets together, you have Danny's coming out story in the past, which is really tragic, and then you have their tragic love story and just all the stuff that made me tear up. And
I think it was also accurate because I also know a person who likes plants and her name is Jamie.
It's me. Yeah, then you also have how they proposed to each other when it wasn't legal yet, and like their marriage just mattered to them. And I feel like that is very accurate to a lot of queer couples back then. Like they were married and it only mattered to them. Like might have not have been legal, but just their whole love story was just great, and I thought it was perfect, even though it was very tragic. Stop killing the gays.
Next up is queer comfort.
So for queer comfort, we give it
8.5.
8.7. Yeah, like I had mentioned at the end of my representation rating, very common theme for specifically sapphic couples in a lot of media, specifically TV shows, is that somebody winds up dying. And even though back when Bly Manor first came out, that's all I saw. Like everyone was just flocking towards it because of like the dynamic of that couple, and they're definitely a comfort couple, I would say, but it got that slightly lower rating for me only because of the killing off of one of the characters. Obviously, it was important to the story, but it's very sad.
I saw you, so I can't say much. I just know I agree with that.
Yeah.
If it was a guy, they'd still be all alive.
Exactly. Next up, originality.
Originality, we give it A. I give it 8.9.
I give it an 8.5.
It was a little higher because there's more diversity here. But there's still creepy white kids.
White people in haunted houses.
No, specifically the white kids are being like...
Yeah, it is the kids that were trying to figure all the stuff out at times.
It's like, I know that like you're trying to be innocent, but sometimes it's like, they're so annoying to me.
And again, the 8.5 doesn't mean it's not original. I liked all the different ghosts that they showed. And again, horror movies are more of your expertise, so to me, it is very original.
Although I do say the woman in the lake does remind me a bit of La Llorona. That's the Spanish lore, the Mexican lore of the lady that drowned her own kids.
Ooh.
And so that's what they say, they hide. They say that to scare kids to not go out at night.
Oh, shit.
Or else will be taken and then drowned in the lake.
And that is like kind of what it is. Like the kids told Danny to like not go out at night.
Exactly.
Because the lady of the lake would grab you and take you into the lake.
I mean, it's a good twist to it, but that just reminds me of that ghost. So
yeah.
So I mean, next up, writing.
So for writing, we give it 9.5.
9.
Hey, so you thought the writing in Bly Manor was a little bit better than Hill House?
Yeah, because it was sadder.
Yeah, it definitely made me feel things. I think both were very, very, very well written. I think I would say equally to me.
I also like how more interactive the ghosts are in here, because there were not as much. It was just more like visual interaction. This one, they like actually possessed some of the kids. They killed, like they got like physically grabs. Like, it was like crazy.
Yeah, and then with Hill House, it's just for the family.
More like manipulation in a way. Because
Yeah, it's more of like a sad ghost story too, because all these ghosts are basically reliving what they were used to when they were alive, and they're starting to forget themselves, which is why those two ghosts.
And the fact that some of them don't even know they're dead.
Oh yeah.
Like it's such crazy. Like when the guy died and he walked back like nothing happened.
He's like, what happened to me? He's like, she just killed you, and then he sees his dead body.
And finally, overall.
So for our overall feelings for Bly Manor, we give it
8.9.
I give it a 10.
I don't like sad stuff. I don't like sad horror.
That's
just my thing.
That's valid.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was sad, but when I first watched this, I would not shut up about it. It became my whole personality. I wanted to buy like stickers and all these different things. And whenever, like before I knew about Hill House, I would always recommend Bly Manor. But yeah, I loved it very much, even though it made me cry. All right, so it is time for our QPR total. Will the ghosts of our straight allies hit us with that gay shit?
For the Haunting of BLY Manor, your QPR total is a 91.
Wow.
Wow, we did it.
That's a gay. That's an A.
Hey,
That's
we did it.
great. Even though, I mean, I guess the sad stuff made us feel more, you know?
But it does prove a bit that as he makes more shows, it does get a little more, the writing gets more improved. Not saying it was bad before, but there's definitely more depth gets built into it.
Yeah, and I hear that Midnight Club has some queerness in it. I don't know about Midnight Mass or House of Usher, but we should definitely check out Midnight Club.
House of Usher is actually based on Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, is it really? Mm-hmm. Ooh. But yeah, thank you guys so much for checking out another spooky episode of Queer Peer Reviews. We hope you check down the links in our description for the Trevor Project as well as our social media pages. Thanks for watching.